the 12-team college football playoff now. And Colorado tonight honoring the head coach of that 1990 team, the late Bill McCartney, by wearing those standard home uniforms, including the white socks from 35 years ago. Colorado won the toss and deferred. Georgia Tech will get the ball first after a touchback on the 25.
Well, there's a lot of excitement around this Georgia Tech program this year. A big reason, Haynes King, one of the toughest quarterbacks in the country. Year 3 as the starter, a true dual threat in this Buster Faulkner offense. And he was so improved last year, 73% completion. The way they run this offense, though, he will tuck it and run with it. A lot of it designed, a lot of it calling his own number. He has just continued to grow, and he is laser focused on this season to lead this football team.
He was only sacked 9 times last year in ACC. Third best in the country is Malik Rutherford, the ball carrier on the jet sweep, and he's out to about the 37-yard line. They were second in the conference in rushing last year, a big help to King.
You're going to see a lot of motions, a lot of shifts. That's what Buster Faulkner does. Love the perimeter runs, good blocking outside on the opening run of the season.
And the ball was fumbled and recovered by Colorado. Martavius Branch comes up with it. Last year, Georgia Tech never fumbled the ball, just 3 times all year. First game for Martavius Branch, a transfer from UTSA, and he comes up with a big play.
Well, it's right at the mesh point, the 2 Hayneses. It's Haynes King, Jamal Haynes. Haynes King's eyes on that outside defensive end. He just gets hung up with Haynes King. Ball's on the ground. Just something you don't typically see. Haynes King with to pull that ball out. He was going to take it as the defensive end collapsed. But as you mentioned, a rare fumble, misplayed football from Haynes King, and exactly what Deion Sanders and this Colorado defense needed to kick this game off.
From the 36-yard line of Georgia Tech, Caden Salter, a swing pass out in space to Quentin Gibson, and he steps out of bounds at the 32. They're replacing Travis Hunter, Shedeur Sanders, several other receivers who are now in the NFL. They feel really good about their offensive line as opposed to last year where they gave up a ton of sacks and were dead last in rushing. Caden Salter tied with Cade Klubnik for the most total touchdowns in FBS the last 2 years. 3-year starter at Liberty, making his Buffalo debut tonight, and he'll hand it off. Off the right side, Micah Welch breaking tackles inside the 20 and shoved out of bounds at the 16 after a 16-yard pickup.
Boy, just a little counteraction. I love the pad level of Michael Welch. He's only 5'9". He lowers those pads, lowers the boom, and runs through R.J. Johnson to spring a nice opening run. Exactly what we talked with offensive coordinator yesterday, Pat Shurmur. As you touched on, they feel this offensive line's better, a bigger emphasis running the football.
Here's Welch again, straight ahead, and he gets popped at the 12-yard line. Big hit by Clayton Powell-Lee. Pickup of 4 on the play.
Again, Clayton Powell-Lee was the one that didn't bring it up to the table on that previous play. I like the physicality Colorado coming out with. I like the way Michael Welch, in these first 2 runs, running the football between the tackles. He was banged up last year. He's gotten his body right. Looks great here to start this game.
Welch again between the tackles, inside the 10, down to the 8. Well, Deion Sanders, when we met with him yesterday, Coach Prime said, look, I'm old school. I'm about physicality. That's what I want our team to be. We were not physical enough last year, and that's with a 9-win season. So far, good start here in that regard.
We want to bring more balance to this football team. A little ball control, run the football. The numbers bear it out. 65 yards a game on the ground. And they had a great passing attack, but replacing 4 wide receivers to the NFL, a quarterback gone to the NFL. We feel like this style of football gives them the opportunity to sustain success.
Empty set here. Salter on 3rd down and short. with time. Everybody covered. Salter gonna fire into the end zone. And it's pulled in for a touchdown by DeKalen Taylor. There were a lot of question marks about this Colorado team coming in, and we got a long way to go before we can really even answer those. But they'll take the start. They get a gift with the bad fumble by Georgia Tech inside the Yellow Jacket 40, and they go right down the field and score. Mata, returning place kicker, puts it through to make it to the Mississippi in 12 years. First time Colorado's played a team from the ACC since 2008. It is 7-0 Buffaloes 3 minutes into the game. A fumble by Haynes King, the Georgia Tech quarterback, and Colorado turns it into points. And Tech will start on the 25. An injury to report on for the Yellow Jackets. Here's Taylor.
Dave, leading receiver for Georgia Tech, Malik Rutherford, dealing with a left leg injury. He's currently down here on the bike on the sideline. He has been grimacing in pain. You can tell that left leg really bothering him, but an important piece of this offense, sidelined early.
Yeah, already a 13-yard run for him in this game. He is on pace to be the all-time leader in catches at Georgia Tech. King to throw, in trouble, steps up, and able to slip through an arm tackle and gain of 2 on the play. So this is the second time that Haynes King has played in Colorado. The last time was in 2021 when he was at Texas A&M. The game was in Denver against Colorado, his second career start. He broke his leg and missed the rest of the season. Injuries were an issue last year for him. Hoping to get through this season healthy and whole. Had a little trouble with the snap, and Haynes off the right side has a first down. Brought down at the 39 by Preston Hodge, but a 12-yard gain.
One of many variations of counter you will see tonight. Going to pull backside guard, the tight end, Luke Harpring. Nice job opening up that crease in the burst from Jamal Haynes. What a career he has put together. Came to Georgia Tech as a wide receiver, converted 2 years ago to running back, over 2,000 yards the last 2 years, and his best is yet to come.
King from the pocket, throws a strike, and it's a first down into Georgia Tech territory for Isaiah Canyon.
A lot of cushion outside. R.J. Johnson playing corner. Good job by Isaiah Canyon. Young, big-bodied, athletic receiver. Nice route and good timing from Haynes King.
3 years at A&M for King, now 3 at Georgia Tech. 24-year-old from Longview, Texas. And the snap is high, the ball's bubbled again, it's punched forward, loose on the ground at the 48-yard line. The Buffaloes say they have it. Waiting for an official signal, there it is, Colorado ball. 3 fumbles last year, 2 tonight for Georgia Tech in less than 5 minutes. Martavius French with his second recovery.
This snap just high, over the head, an outstretched hand of Haynes King. He went up, tried to get his hand on it, couldn't corral it. That ball's loose, it's on the ground. And what a start from Martavius French. New team, new season. The benefactor of 2 early takeaways. We're not 5 minutes into the season. Now 2 fumbles for Georgia Tech, and Colorado with good field position can completely take control of this game early.
Deion Sanders acknowledged to us yesterday that even though Caden Salter has a lot of starts under his belt, this is different. There were some butterflies, some nerves coming into this game. Nothing like a couple of takeaways to take the nerves away. We'll see if they can capitalize again. A little dump off, and this time Taylor, who caught the touchdown pass on the first drive, puts it on the deck, incompletion.
Well, Taylor clearly loved the way he catches the football. Pat Shermer mentioned that yesterday. That was 20 personnel, 2 backs in the backfield on that set. Last year, Colorado was primarily a 10 offense. 1 back, 4 receivers with the talent. Now you see here 85. Zach Atkins in the game. They're going to utilize more tight ends, more running backs, a different look and feel of this Colorado offense this season.
On the rollout, long throw, Salter, and it's incomplete. Traylon Miller went to the ground, almost secured it, but when he hit the chalk marks, it came out. Miller played well as a true freshman last year with 32 catches.
They love what he brings to the table as he goes to the ground, just unable to secure this football. Pass low and away where only Miller could make a play. That's a catchable football, one you'd like to see him try to come up with.
So now it's 3rd and 10. Colorado in danger of punting it right back to Georgia Tech after the takeaway. Salter in trouble. What a move in the pocket to escape. And Salter going to hoist it deep on the run. He's got a man in the end zone, but he overthrows the intended target, Sincere Brown, and it's 4th down.
Well, it's slick out there. You saw a couple of Georgia Tech defenders slipping and sliding, but also some of that Caden Salter. You can see just how shifty and elusive he can be. The twist game comes clean. Georgia Tech defender falls. I actually thought Caden Salter might run for that, Dave. There was a lot of green grass out in front. Got a little greedy, tried to take the whole shot down the field, and pass just sails a little bit long on him. But that's a good hold for Georgia Tech defensively after the 2nd turnover by their offense.
So Greaves will try to pin Georgia Tech deep. Eric Rivers is the return man. And it's a short punt. Greaves racing toward the sideline, and the fair catch made on the last couple days. There is great energy and positivity surrounding this program. Despite all the losses, a lot of confidence, locally anyway, in this team. And a quarterback draw. Haynes King up the middle to the 24 for 7 yards. Just trying to settle down that offense and get a chunk run on 1st down.
And I think that's what Brent Key's telling his entire offense, and this is what pays dividends to have a veteran quarterback. Take a deep breath. Okay, we've gotten a little bit of the nerves out of the way, the shakes, 2 fumbles now beside us. Let's take a deep breath. Let's put together a good drive.
King keeps it and picks up the 1st down out to the 34. He has the most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback the last 2 years with 21, so he's an excellent athlete. 11 last year.
Love when he gets on the perimeter. You're going to see him work out, and he's really going to keep 50. This linebacker does a really nice job with Reginald Hughes. When he gets right there and he pump fakes outside, he freezes that linebacker, and he knows he can put his foot in the ground and get inside. Nice job by Haynes King.
They run another jet sweep. Bailey stopped into the perimeter. He gets clocked out of play by Tion Parks and Reggie Hughes. But Georgia Tech able to run the football well here and get another 1st down.
Counter action one way, misdirection, jet sweep out the other side. 2nd time now we've seen Georgia Tech with that motion able to get to the perimeter. It is a challenge to deal with this Buster Faulkner run game. So many pulling offensive linemen, tight ends, the motions, the misdirections. Have to play responsibility football if you're playing this offense.
9th run play, and it's the quarterback again. King this time gets leveled at the 49-yard line by DJ McKinney, preseason 1st team all Big 12 corner. Haynes King moving around a little slowly after that hit.
After that hit, you're exactly right. He got up slow and looks like he's still trying to shake a little bit something off there.
Last year was a shoulder problem that cost him 2 full games and parts of 3 others. We already talked about the leg injury in 2021. Haynes trying to get the edge, stiff arming, and close to a 1st down as he's pushed out at the 46. It's a 1st down for Georgia Tech.
Jamal Haynes just 185, 190 pounds, but he plays with the burst you've seen and also some strength, tough to tackle in the open field and between the tackles. This piece of running, just getting to the edge and picking up enough to move the chains.
King throwing for just the second time. Got a defender at his feet. He throws a pick right to DJ McKinney. The third turnover by Georgia Tech. A penalty flag in the backfield.
Holding, number 58. Offense. Penalty is declined. First down, Colorado.
3 giveaways in 8 minutes by Georgia Tech.
Well, I mentioned the pulling guards. Quincy Wiggins is going to do a really nice job getting vertical and getting in the backfield. Quincy Wiggins right here. He's just going to get vertical. He's going to apply this pressure on Haynes King. Haynes King under duress. He's got bodies at his legs. An errant throw that he makes to try to hit Bailey Stockton over the middle. Bailey Stockton put his hands up for contact. There was a little contact going across, but that was more of a panic throw than anything with the pressure coming. And one of the best corners in the Big 12, DJ McKinney, the third takeaway in this first quarter for Colorado.
You talk about the panic throws. He didn't do that last year. 2 years ago, 16 picks. Only 2 last year. But a big mistake there. Colorado takes over. And Salter's pass pulled in on the edge by Miller, but he's dumped immediately at the 31 for a loss of 3 on the play by Amari Harvey.
But Harvey does an excellent job working underneath the outside receiver to create that negative play.
Trouble with the football on the snap, but Salter still able to get something out of it. Out to the 40, so he got 9 yards on that play before Kamen Spalding takes him to the ground. Savion Riley missed a tackle that would have put Colorado back near the original line of scrimmage. Instead, they're in a manageable 3rd and 4.
Just does good by Salter to staying calm. He mishandled that snap initially, and really a nice job by the offensive line, getting push, getting movement, and opening up some space for Salter to move with the football. To get Salter on the edge, a little run pass option here.
Instead, from the pocket, Salter throws, and the catch is made. But what a great hit. Welch made the catch, and Spalding, who the Georgia Tech coaches love, they say he's lightning in a bottle. He got the stick, and it's 4th down.
I think you punted. I know it's very in vogue. We see a lot of coaches going for it, 4th and short, but your side of the field, and quickly, Coach Sanders makes the decision, and he trots the punt unit out of the field.
Especially when Georgia Tech's giving you the ball 3 times. You can flip the field here, if nothing else, and maybe force another turnover if you can pin the Yellow Jackets inside the 10. Greaves' first punt wasn't good. This one much better. It bounces at the 10, scooped on the 5 by Rivers. Grabbed by the 1-yard line. And they're going to mark him down at about the 3. Isaiah Hartz, the gunner, got back there quickly and wrapped up. 12 plays in this game, 3 turnovers. Brent Key, when we spoke with him yesterday, the Georgia Tech head coach, so confident, felt that this maybe was the year. And they're only down 7-0, but man, you got to wonder about that confidence right now. This has been disastrous, and they're backed up again on their own 2. King to throw from the end zone and taking a shot downfield. It's off target, but flags fly. Isaiah Canyon, the intended receiver, with Tion Parks in coverage. We asked Buster Faulkner, the offensive coordinator, yesterday about shot plays. He said there should be one in there early, and we just saw it from the end zone.
Pass interference, number 3. Defense, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Deion Parks is not in bad position, but he gets a fistful of jersey, makes this a very easy call for the official. He's grabbing, he's pulling, he's tugging. An easy flag there drawn by Isaiah Canyon.
Canyon did have the face mask of Parks, but it looked like that was after Parks was grabbing and pulling at the arm and then the jersey. So they give it some breathing room out to the 17-yard line. And here's the backup tailback, Malachi Hosley, who was the Ivy League Player of the Year last year at Penn, and he gets just 2 yards on the play, brought down by Keaton Wade.
It's a really good play by Keaton Wade. He worked off 2 blocks, got inside, made that play for a very minimal gain. He was banged up for the first half of the season, came on really strong the last 5 games of the year, and they think Keaton Wade can be a staple off the edge for this Buffalo's defense.
King on 2nd and 8, pressure up the middle. King, a jump pass, and he completes it for a first down to Stockton out to the 30-yard line. Boy, what a dangerous play by Haynes King, but he made it happen nonetheless for 11 yards.
Robert Livingston going to dial it up, and it comes scot-free, but a great job. Haynes King just going to slide to his left. He's still got players in his face and all around him. What a find of Bailey Stockton. Great poise there under duress by the 5th-year senior Haynes King.
He was a little slow to get up again. He's taken a couple of shots here in the first quarter. They run it up the gut, and it's Hosley to the 33-yard line. Running the ball hasn't been a problem so far in this game. They've got more than 55 rushing yards here early on. It's just they keep coughing the ball up when they start to get a drive going.
Just crazy. Showed you the stat that 903 plays a year ago, 10 turnovers. And here prior to this drive, just 12 plays and already 3. In a disastrous start for this offense.
They're going to hand it off to Rivers on the jet sweep. They've run that play 3 times, and Rivers is dangerous. Maybe a touchdown-saving tackle there at the 42-yard line by Stoutmeyer. Rivers picks up 27 on the play.
The perimeter blocking has been so good. Multiple tight ends outside. And Jamal Haynes, just watch these guys go to work here. Hat on a hat, in a crease right there for the speedster Eric Rivers to hit it downhill.
They'll keep it on the ground here with Hosley off the left side. Check that. Haynes down to the 36-yard line. So a gain of 4 on that run there by Haynes as Georgia Tech continues to hand it off. Only a few pass plays here so far in this opening quarter. King 3 for 4 through the air and 13 run plays for Tech. King will throw on 2nd down over the middle. And the catch made by Stockton again, wrapped up close to the line to gain. Appears to be short by about a half yard.
Playbook wide open here on 3rd and short. But Haynes King, with the size that he brings to the table, the physicality he runs with, love to call his number in short yard situations like this.
Georgia Tech goes 2 back with Haynes and Hosley. And it's the first man through. Hosley with the first down inside the 25, down to the 22. Gain of 9.
A really nice job on the interior. Watch right here. This left guard does a great job getting the block. It's Harrison Moore. Just kick out right there on that 3 technique. Open up that hole. And the quick hitter works perfectly to move the sticks.
But can they finish a drive? They have not been able to do that yet. 137 yards of offense, but no points. King gives it to Haynes downhill again. And good lane Between the tackles to the 18, 4 more yards. Arden Walker on the stop. Inside a minute to go.
Once again, just another counter. Pull the backside. Not a whole lot there, but Jamal Haynes just keeps those legs churning in the forward lean. A nice pickup on first down.
An 11-second difference here in the game and play clocks at the end of the first. Could be the final play of the quarter. On 2nd and 5. Again, they go 2 back. That's Haynes shifting, and he's the ball carrier. And he's loose, but tripped up at the 10. Otherwise, he probably scores. Jonathan Wade got enough of the shoelaces. And it'll be a first down near the 10-yard line when we start the second quarter.
They just give you so much to look at. Jamal Haynes is in
the first quarter, over 100 rushing yards. Nothing to show for it yet. They are on the 10-yard line, first and goal. They turned it over 3 times, twice in Colorado territory. Low snap, Haynes off the left side. Dragged down after a 2-yard gain. Taylor caught up with Brent Keith.
Coach, 3 turnovers, but a chance to tie the game. What do you make of your start?
Well, you just said it. We had 3 turnovers. I mean, golly, we got a ball exchange issue, had a snap issue, and then we throw an interception right there. And, you know, we're moving the ball, all right, but we can't turn the ball over. That's not characteristic of us. All right, we can't do it. It's got to stop. And you know, we got to fix those things. The defense made a good play on the over there to stop them with a yard short. But, you know, beating ourselves, and we got to correct those things. But you see we're moving the ball. Hopefully it continues now.
Thank you. Dave?
Penalty flags are down. Looked like there was a hold on Georgia Tech as Haynes King had to sprint out of the pocket, being chased by French, who's already got 2 fumble recoveries in this first half.
Holding number 72. Offense, 10-yard penalty. Still second down.
And Malachi Carney, transfer from South Alabama on your right side. Going to get a piece of Arden Walker working off the edge. Going to come late, going to get the grab, draw the flag. Then he takes another shot. You touched on it, Dave. Latavius French puts him down at the end of that play, and Haynes King got up slow once again from the turf.
Second and goal on the 18 after the penalty. King to the air. With time, pass is deflected and almost picked off. It hit the ground before Hughes had it pop into his hands. Jaheim Otis, the Alabama transfer, got a hand up. Third down and goal.
Well, Jaheim Otis is big, man. He's 6'5", he's 330. Watch him just walk back this offensive lineman. He plays this perfectly. Almost 2 gaps in on the guard, Harrison Moore. And then right times it perfectly, gets that hands up, it gets the pass deflection.
Gonna play it safe and run the ball. Down to the 15-yard line is Hosley, and so Georgia Tech will bring on the field goal team. That's an understandable decision, given all the miscues early on, just to make sure they get points out of this drive.
Absolutely. You already had a hold that's backed you up. Pass just got deflected. Gotta imagine Brent Key's just saying, hey, we just need to get points on the board and get something from this drive. A drive that started on the 1-yard line.
Aiden Burr. 32-yard field goal try. And finally, Georgia Tech on the board. It's 7-3 here in Bowl. Led Liberty to a 13-0 regular season and a Fiesta Bowl berth back in 2023, the first New Year's Six bowl game in Conference USA history. He was responsible for 77 touchdowns while at Liberty, and over the last 2 years, 66, which ties Cade Klubnik for the most in college football. And so far, Salter is 4 for 7 passing for 12 yards, 1 run for 9 yards.
He's a dynamic runner, but Pat Shurmur praised for his throwing ability as well. We've seen Pat Shurmur put the ball in his hand to throw the football down the field. I'd love to see him utilize him more as a runner throughout the course of this ball game.
To Kalen Taylor running. And a flag down. Taylor got to the line of scrimmage and maybe a half yard. The flag is thrown in the backfield around the 19.
holding, number 85. Offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
On the tight end, Zach Atkins. Here's Taylor.
Before the game, Deion Sanders told me, thank goodness they're playing on their brand new turf field that was installed this offseason. He said if it was still the regular grass, it would have been slippery all game. But this turf, instead of the usual rubber pallets, actually has this wood filled in between the grass, so it better handles the moisture. And so the plan and the hope is that it's not as slippery as grass would have been, Dave.
Well, it was pouring down right to Taylor an hour before the game. Salter looking for some running room, and he's brought down for another negative play at the 14, loss of 1.
Well, that is an outstanding play by the freshman making his first start. That's Andre Fuller Jr. And we just found out before the game that he was going to start tonight. Had a really good camp, had an excellent week of practice, and a nice job keeping contained and helping create that negative play.
Not only did we find out before the game he was going to start, they didn't even tell us about who he was yesterday. We didn't even hear his name until we were told to add him to our depth chart right before kickoff. Second down and 21 on the Colorado 14. And the Buffaloes keep it on the ground. And a burst. Simeon Price up to the 29. Another penalty marker is thrown, though. And Colorado starting to march backwards. That could negate a 15-yard pickup. Oh, now Colorado is saying it's on Georgia Tech. They started walking back to the huddle as if they thought, well, we just got busted for a hold.
Personal
but
foul,
now it's against
face
Georgia
mask,
Tech.
number 1. Defense, 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the run. First down.
So that's on Kamen Spalding. And that will put the ball out at the 45-yard line for Colorado.
Well, it's outstanding interior blocking. And it's going to be Zarian McGill who gets up to that second level on Spalding. Left hand gets up in the face mask, draws the flag. A nice piece of running there by Simeon Price right up the middle.
You rarely see that call in terms of a face mask. To Kalen Taylor, hit in the backfield, keeps his balance, fighting for yardage, and picks up a couple. Taylor, a transfer from Incarnate Word. He rushed for 900 yards last year. Don't sleep on guys from Incarnate Word. You never know. They might be the #1 pick in the draft down the road.
Cam Ward, former Incarnate Word alum, put together a phenomenal season last year. Be intrigued to see what he does this year at Tennessee.
And the new quarterback in Miami, Carson Beck, Miami Notre Dame, Sunday night, ABC. Price met in the hole and dropped. Got maybe 2. Jai Gilmore with the hit. Third down.
Well, Jai Gilmore shot out of a cannon from the safety position, flying downhill to meet Price just past the line of scrimmage. The tune change here for Georgia Tech up front. They were really poor getting pressure on the quarterback a year ago, just 18 sacks. New defensive coordinator Blake Gideon said that is a big point of emphasis to create more pressure, create more negative plays. Got them stacked at the line of scrimmage here on third down.
Meanwhile, Colorado gave up the 6th most sacks last year. Salter trying to set up a screen, in trouble, and Salter throws it away at the last second before he's dragged down. Got outside the pocket, got it through the neutral zone, so it's no grounding. Jordan Vandenberg also almost had a sack for Georgia Tech.
Well, Melvin Jordan IV, he's going to come pretty much scot-free right up the A-gap, and then good pressure off the edge as well. Nice job rushing in tandem. Looked like they were trying to set the screen up, but Caden Salter unable to get the ball out there. There's offensive lineman out in front, but Caden Salter, that pressure was so in his face so quickly, he had to retreat. And a good stop by Georgia Tech to force the punt.
Eric Rivers is the deep man again for Georgia Tech. He was wearing number 43 earlier. That's because there were 2 guys that wear number 3 normally, so he was wearing the flip jersey. Now he's back to number 3, the only number 3 out there for Tech. As that punt hugs the left sideline, and it's touched by Colorado before it enters the end zone. Boy, Isaiah Harge has made some great plays as the gunner for Colorado. Now they're saying the ball crossed the plane, so it's a touchback. It's going to come out to the 20. Colorado still celebrating. I don't think they heard the official rule touchback. The fans.
Unbelievable what he's meant to college football.
Haynes King, little dump off, and the ball's on the ground. It was not secured. It's an incomplete pass. Jamal Haynes never had control.
It's a rare miss right there between those two. Got Jamal Haynes wide open out in the flats with a blocker out in front, and that pass just a little behind him, but still a pass you expect Jamal Haynes to come up with.
Haynes King 4 of 7 with the interception so far. Last year, 73% completion rate. King looking for room, tried to spin away from one man and downed at the 19 by Quincy Wiggins. It'll be a sack and a loss of 1.
Well, it's Brandon Davis-Wade who's going to make the initial pressure, and then you're going to see Wiggins who's going to come in and be able to get the sack. Really nice job working together. Inside pressure. You see there on that quarterback draw, Haynes King try to evade it. Wiggins right there to take him down. Well done by the front for the Buffaloes.
Gave up just 9 sacks last year, 3rd in the country, and a school record. They've had trouble protecting King so far. And now he's in 3rd and obvious. Everybody covered. King flag down, and King is down as well at the 14. The flag is thrown at the 30, all the way over here on the near sideline. Okunlola on the takedown. Let's see what the penalty is.
Holding number 9, defense. 10-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
It's on Tyrekus Davis, the nickel, way away from where the quarterback was.
Going to come right here. Grabs a little bit in the backside of the jersey. It's not terrible, but he does. He gets beat inside, grabs that jersey, and it draws the flag. Negates an excellent pass rush there for Colorado on back-to-back plays.
Deion Sanders told us yesterday we got to cut down on the penalties. We were awful in that regard last year. And that one hurts if you're the Buffalo. They run the jet sweep again. This time it's Rivers, and he scoots out of play at about the 35-yard line. We have not seen Malik Rutherford back in a while. Went out early, as Taylor McGregor reported. He's their best receiver, but Eric Rivers is very dangerous. Transfer from FIU.
Huge addition they made from FIU. They lose Eric Singleton, they gain Eric Rivers, and we've seen that speed. Told us it was elite speed that he has, and they expect him to play a huge role here within this offense this season.
King gets hit, delivers the pass, and it's a first down and more for Stockton. Out of play inside the Colorado 45. There was pressure from French, and boy, King did well to get rid of that ball quickly.
Bailey Stockton has been the go-to guy here in this first half for Georgia Tech outside, and just poorly played by DJ McKinney, who's typically so good. Doesn't leverage the football, gets caught inside, allows Stockton to get to the perimeter, and a huge pickup to move the sticks for the Yellow Jackets.
4 catches, 48 yards for Stockton. 33 of those after the catch. Penalty marker down. Movement by Georgia Tech.
Prior to the snap, false start, number 78, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Each team has been penalized 3 times now. The all-new ESPN app is the best way to watch sports. All of ESPN, all in one place. Live games, live stats. Plus, you can track your fantasy teams and personalize with your favorite leagues, teams, and players.
Will be such a key to have on a day like tomorrow, Dave Pasch, with all the great games all across our networks. Get it all right there on the ESPN app.
And all starting in Columbus with College Game Day. Swinging it out to Hosley. He's got room inside the 40, inside the 30, and Hosley all the way to the 22. They're starting to wear Colorado out on the perimeter with some short passing and a gain of 25, mostly on the run.
Just a flare screen outside. He's got blockers out in front. Good perimeter blocking once again. I feel like I've been a broken record saying that here today, but Malachi Hosley was outstanding at Penn. Was an All-American there at the FCS level, and making an impact here in this first half, both running it and catching it.
And they have over 200 yards as a team now of offense here in the first half. Out of an empty set, King, another quick pass to the edge. And an excellent open field tackle that time by Sean Myers on Zion Taylor, who caught the ball at the line of scrimmage.
It's an area that they thought they really upgraded this Colorado defense. Talking with the defensive coordinator, Robert Livingston, loves the athleticism of these linebackers. A nice play on the perimeter by Sean Myers.
Year 2 for Livingston, longtime assistant coach for the Cincinnati Bengals. King facing a 4-man rush, slings it, complete. Inside the 15 is Rivers. First down at the 13.
I love this route. Just work a little curl scheme, back to the football, and good strong hands on the pass delivered from Haynes King. Pockets clean, steps into that throw. And a nice connection from Haynes King and his new target.
Seems like King has really settled into the game now. He's completed his last 4 passes since the interception. First down at the 12. Stockton, the ball carrier. And down to about the 7-yard line. His only touchdown a year ago was in the bowl game against Vanderbilt. But as you mentioned, Dusty, he is being featured here in the first half for Tech.
Hand it to him, throw it to him. Just continue to contribute to this offense. And speaking of contribute, Jamal Haynes just delivered a devastating block on the perimeter. Well, these running backs, when the ball is not in their hands, they are still lively within this play. Just shows what Brent Key demands from everybody on this offense, on this team, to play physical.
Inside the 10 for the second time. Had to settle for 3 last time. Design run for Haynes King. Lowers his shoulder. He'll come up short of the first down by about a yard. It'll be third down. Okunlola in there first for Colorado. Davis Swain, true freshman starting defensive tackle, just had his helmet pop off, so he's got to come out for a play. Call it third down and 2 at the 4-yard line. King keeps it, and King hit at the 1, but powers his way across. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. More rushing touchdowns than any quarterback in FBS the last 2 seasons.
Well, here's Hosley. He's going to get a key block out in front. Fake it to him, and Haynes King just going to follow him. It's just enough of that linebacker coming down. Haynes King lowers the shoulder, gets in the end zone for the first Georgia Tech touchdown of the season. So
despite being -3 in the turnover ratio, they lead the game 10-7 after the extra point by Aiden Berg.
Could Jackson Arnold get it right? An impressive start for them against a good Baylor team there in Waco.
Georgia Tech leading for the first time. Another touchback. Colorado will start on the 25. Our Labor Day weekend on ABC and ESPN rolls on tomorrow. It starts at noon Eastern in Atlanta. Syracuse and Tennessee, Alabama, Florida State to follow, and then Saturday Night Football, LSU at Clemson. 2 games on Sunday, 1 on ESPN, South Carolina, Virginia Tech, ABC, Notre Dame, Miami, and then Bill Belichick's debut Monday night.
LSU Clemson. Here's my question. LSU rebuilt offensive line. Can they block the front of Clemson? They got Peter Woods, who's going to be a first-round pick. They got TJ Parker, one of the best pass rushers in the country. What can LSU's offensive line do against that front? It's going to be a huge factor and key in tomorrow night's matchup.
Clemson coming off a college football playoff appearance. Its quarterback Cade Klubnik returns. Colorado going back to the ground game with the quarterback Salter keeping. And he's thrown forward close to a first down. And he's got it. It's a gain of 11. Since the first drive, only 32 yards of offense and no passing yards. Just 2 completions, 1 for +3, 1 for -3 for Caden Salter.
Well, I love the first down play call to start this drive. get Caden Salter on the perimeter, get Zach Atkins, the big tight end, out in front blocking. Good play call and nice execution to get a first down.
Salter on the move, will keep again, and this time gets drilled by Omar Daniels, the free safety, after a pickup of 3.
Blake Gideon, first time ever calling plays. He comes over from Texas, well-respected, highly regarded, young, talented coach, and he really had to work with this secondary. And one thing he wanted to work on was tackling and leverage tackling. Nice job there on first down with the tackle coming from the back end.
And Gideon is Tech's 4th defensive coordinator in the last 4 years. Salter to throw. Throws to the flat, and what a terrific play, but keeping his balance was Price. Or no, he did go down after Daniels made the hit in the backfield for a loss of about 4.
Well, you can see Omar Daniels, he reads this, and he plays it so well. He's going to start to creep down as that motion comes, sifts through, works right before Zach Atkins can get out in front. A nice job, catch tackle, like from the safety, Omar Daniels. Back-to-back plays for the 5th-year senior.
Without a player like Travis Hunter or the experience of Shedeur Sanders, even though Caden Salter's experience, it's his first start in this environment. Tough to put a quarterback in 3rd and 10. He throws it deep, and he's got a receiver, and it's pulled in inside the 30-yard line by Omarion Miller. What a throw downfield by Caden Salter. I guess it wasn't too much pressure in that situation. A dart 40 yards downfield.
Well, he's got time. He steps into the pass, and the safety doesn't get over the top, and a dime delivered. Good concentration on the sidelines and adjustment from Omarion Miller. Huge 3rd down conversion and a confidence-building throw for Caden Salter.
Yeah, he needed that with the way things have been going for the offense. And now movement on the right side of the line by Kareem Harden.
55, offense, 5-yard penalty, still first down.
For 20 years, Allstate has celebrated every field goal and extra point made at participating universities by donating to the university's athletic scholarship fund, supporting all student athletes. Thank you, Allstate. Closing in on the 2-minute timeout. Colorado may just take it down here. Each team with all of its timeouts remaining. They will snap it at 2:02. And Salter waiting for some blockers. Actually looked like if he would have cut it upfield initially, he might have had some room. Cowboy fan, he's been in tears for the last 24 hours.
I grew up in Dallas. It's been a tough 24 hours, no doubt about that.
Meanwhile, Colorado trying to tie the game here before halftime. Going to keep it on the ground in 2nd and 14. They get back to the original line of scrimmage with Price. Bring up 3rd down.
I think Britt Key maybe trying to take a timeout here.
This was while we were away, Coach Prime showing fire and intensity, talking first to his quarterback and then some coaches and players. Boy, he was really energized yesterday, and he had told us obviously it's been a fight after having to go through what he went through in the spring when he was diagnosed with bladder cancer and had to go through surgery to have his bladder removed. Said at times he doesn't have great energy, but he was pretty fired up when we talked to him yesterday.
He was fired up, and he's fired up about the future of this program, and he doesn't think they're taking any step back whatsoever. And it was great to talk with him. His spirits were high, his energy was up, and still bringing the juice down there on the field here tonight. So Brent Key called the timeout after that 2nd down. He wants his defense to get a stop, and he wants to put the ball in his veteran quarterback Haynes King's hands. So now 3rd and 10. Be interesting to see here what Pat Shurmur does. And
would you keep it on the ground here and play it safe?
No, no. I'm trying to move the sticks and get closer. I mean, you're right now at a 42-yard field goal. I'm trying to get a first down.
See how much they trust their quarterback. They trust him enough. He's going to throw, in trouble, steps up, and Salter fell forward, actually picked up a yard. Akilo Stone was there first, so it'll be, as Georgia Tech calls another timeout, about a 41-yard field goal try.
They brought pressure once again, and it's going to come clean. They get home, and Caden Salter does a nice job avoiding the initial pressure. Just tries to get something out of nothing, but we've seen now multiple times on 3rd down, Blake Gideon, he's dialing up the pressure on these 3rd down situations.
So 1 timeout left for Tech. They're setting up for a field goal. Let's check in with Taylor.
Well, one thing Deion Sanders did say is this is the first time Caden Salter will play in this type of atmosphere. And when I was trying to listen in to what Deion was saying to Salter, I kept seeing Salter cover up his ears as if he was having a hard time hearing what the coaches were saying. So just perspective, because this is the first time he's played in this type of atmosphere, guys.
You know, you have the communication, too, with the offensive coordinator, Pat Shermer. Last year was the first year of that in college. Obviously, Shermer's been used to that. He did it for 24 years in the NFL. But in this environment, when it's this loud, that can play a role in that communication. 42-yard attempt, Alejandro Mata, who missed just twice last year. 12 of 14 from field goal range. And this one is dead center to tie the game at 10 with 1:39 to go till halftime. Incredible opening weekend of college football on ESPN and ABC. We will wrap it up Labor Day with Bill Belichick and North Carolina taking on TCU at 8 Eastern time. It's also available streaming on the all-new ESPN app. We've talked a lot about Bill Belichick being in college football, but how good is North Carolina going to be?
A lot of questions to be answered. They brought in Gio Lopez from South Alabama. They're going to lean on him to run this offense. But they have a ton of new faces. There hasn't been a lot of noise or news coming out of North Carolina camp, as would be expected from Bill Belichick. But Bill Belichick's in college football, Dave Pasch.
First time since
How crazy is that?
First time since he played 50 years ago.
It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Be a great matchup. Sonny Dykes, TCU. They've got a veteran team, a veteran quarterback. A lot of these Big 12 teams do this season. It's going to be a great way to put an exclamation point on just an incredible opening week one weekend of college football.
Buck Buchanan will hammer it deep again. So Georgia Tech, one timeout left. We are inside 2 minutes, so the clock will stop on first downs to reset the chains.
Well, last drive, they got a huge penalty, too. There was an offensive holding, but then a nice perimeter throw. Get the ball out there on the perimeter to Bailey Stockton. Another perimeter throw. The perimeter blocking has been so good. This time, push it down the field to Eric Rivers, the new toy that they brought in, and call your own number. And Haynes King at his best when he's running between the tackles. He lowers the shoulder and gets into the end zone. Now let's see him work here in a 2-minute drill. 1:39 and one timeout to go.
Haynes running on first down, goes high up in the air and down at the 30-yard line. Got tangled up with Bailey Stockton, a receiver trying to block out there on the perimeter. So a gain of about 5 and the clock is moving.
Haynes King hand signaling at the line of scrimmage. Changing the play.
Going to run Haynes again. First down and more. So the clock will stop momentarily. They'll get the chain set and run it on the ready for play from the 38-yard line.
Back-to-back runs here. They use those timeouts to get the football back, but yet to see Haynes King put the ball in the air.
He's completed his last 4 passes, through an interception, also 2 lost fumbles for Georgia Tech. Yet the game is tied in the final minute of the second quarter. King gets hit from the pocket and hoists it out of bounds. Boy, Colorado has been getting shots on the quarterback. Davis Swain was back there for the Buffaloes along with Walker.
Well, Davis Swain has been really good. He's just going to walk Harrison Moore to the quarterback and do a nice job getting off the block, arm over. For a Georgia Tech offensive line that did not allow pressure a season ago, they've got some new pieces working in, but hats off to this Colorado front. They've done a nice job here in the first half.
And that's 8 or 9 hits now on Haynes King so far in this game. 49 seconds left. Still the 1 timeout. 2nd and 10. Keep it on the ground. Haynes cuts it back, being chased, and goes out of bounds. He got pushed late. No flag. Stoutmeyer chased him out. So the clock stopped now with 42 seconds left, and that could benefit Colorado perhaps.
Well, that's really good defense. Anquan Barnes Jr., the nose tackle, he set that point. He forced Jamal Haynes to cut it back, and good pursuit to the football from that Buffalo's back in. And they protect Haynes King here. We've seen a lot of success from this front for Colorado.
Right, they haven't needed to bring pressure. Do they try something here, though, and dial it up?
I think they're just going to bring 4 and get home with it.
That's what they'll do. King on 3rd down. Steps up to run, makes a man miss, and picks up a 1st down and more. Inside the 40. And runs to the sideline at the 34-yard line with 34 seconds to go.
Well, this is so well timed and so well called. This is a design draw, late draw. He fakes the throw out to the flats. Offensive line doing work, sticking with their blocks. And then Haynes King with good vision finds a crease and a huge pickup on that 3rd down.
Still the 1 timeout. Their kicker, Aiden Burr, made a 51-yard field goal last year. So they're in his range right now.
Rivers up top.
King across the middle. Big hit. That time by Hughes after the catch from Rivers. And the clock at 25 seconds. Timeout by Georgia Tech. It's last.
You got to use your timeout there. Boy, good catch tackle there from Colorado.
Looking at some notable ACC and Big 12 games other than this one here, week 1. LSU Clemson. Dusty talked about that earlier. He also talked about TCU North Carolina. What about Notre Dame Miami Sunday night, ABC?
Well, it's fascinating. CJ Carr is going to make his first ever start. But this is an offense for Notre Dame that's got a great offensive line. Jeremiah Love, one of the best, if not the best back in college football. How much do we see CJ Carr put it up in the air? On the flip side, doesn't feel like everybody's written Carson Beck off.
Yes, it does.
He's pretty good at Georgia. I remember him winning a bunch of big games. And speaking of winning big games, when is Mario Cristobal going to win that first big game? Huge matchup, and I actually think Miami's going to give Notre Dame all they want. I think Carson Beck steps up and plays well against that good Irish defense.
Really big weekend for both the ACC and Big 12 in terms of earning early credibility with the eventual college football playoff selection committee. Last year, the ACC got 2 teams in the 12-team field, Clemson and SMU. Big 12 had 1 in Arizona State, a team nobody thought would get in. They are the highest-ranked Big 12 team, number 11, coming into the year.
It's about perception, and it's opportunity early in the season, and a lot of opportunity here this week 1 for both the Big 12 and the ACC.
No timeouts left for Georgia Tech. 2nd and 9 from the 33 of Colorado. Again, Haynes King changing things up. Play clock down to 5. Run play. Hosley gets through a hole and wrapped up at the 26-yard line. You a little surprised by that?
Yeah, I am very surprised by that. Haynes King checked into it, and they're going to have, I think they're just going to spike it and play for the field goal.
It's 3rd and 2. Got to run a play. You can't spike it now, right?
Again, I think they're just playing for the field goal at this point.
Certainly looks at it. Yeah, he waited long enough there to snap it and spike it. I would have thought, I mean, they're breaking tackles between the tackles. Why not hand it off there?
Well, if you hand it off and you get tackled, you're not going to have time. It'd be tough to run a field goal unit on the field.
Well, that's because they waited so long. They just got up there and snapped it quickly, maybe not. But they were able to spike it with 4 seconds left. Looking for the lead going into the locker room. A 43-yard try by Aiden Burr. One for 1 so far. Made a 32-yarder. And this one's good. And it'll be a 3-point Georgia Tech advantage despite 3 turnovers at halftime.
You got to feel great if you're Brent Key. The way this game started, your first 3 possessions of the season all result in turnovers, yet you find a way to weather the storm and take a halftime lead here as you go in.
Colorado will get the ball to start the second half. And with Coach Prom, here's Taylor.
Thanks, Dave. Coach, we've seen you have conversations with your quarterback, Caden Salter, on the sideline. What are you telling him?
It's communication. It's like somebody's talking to him, and he wants to clear. He wants clarity on everything. He's playing good, a solid game. We just got to be more productive offensively. We started off game going right down the darn field. Then we had some hiccups. Defensively, I think is a couple bad plays on 3rd down, and that's why they're up right now.
Thank you, Coach. Dave?
Georgia Tech leading on the road 13-10 as we get ready to start the second half. Tonight's game flow brought to you by Progressive. A turnover-filled start for Georgia Tech.
It was sloppy, sloppy, sloppy the first 3 possessions. Fumble exchange, fumbled snap, then Haynes King under pressure, get people at his feet, forces a throw he doesn't need to force, throws an interception. He had 2 all of last year, and it was a treacherous start, and Colorado able to cash in on one of those turnovers. Their new quarterback, Caden Salter, gets outside the pocket, locates the running back Taylor for a touchdown. But once Georgia Tech settled in, they score on 3 straight possessions. That one Haynes King touchdown.
A touchback again. And so Colorado will start on the 25. Dave Pasch, Jesse Dvorak, Taylor McGregor with you. And Georgia Tech has settled down since those giveaways. And they're on pace for about 600 yards of total offense. Colorado, Dusty, on pace for about 250. So how do they get going offensively?
Well, I think they need to run the football. I thought they had success with Michael Welch, with Price, handing the football off early. I think Caden Salter's even run the ball well, but they haven't stuck to it. I think in the second half, you find a way to really try to establish a run and soften up this Georgia Tech defense.
It's interesting. We're told we'd see some of Juju Lewis, the freshman phenom 17-year-old quarterback. But it's been all Caden Salter so far at QB for the Buffaloes. And they will try to run it here per Dusty's suggestion. And breaking free down the sideline is Michael Welch. He stepped out of bounds at the 47, but a great start to the third, a gain of 22.
Well, they saw Georgia Tech run so much counter, they're doing it themselves. Pull backside guard, pull the backside tackle, and they're able to get a crease for Michael Welch. Doesn't take much. Good patience, running behind his blockers, and then the burst through the hole. Great way to start this second half. I would continue to give 29 the football. He didn't get enough touches in the first half. That's got to be a big point of emphasis here in the second.
That's their longest run play of the day. Second longest play overall tonight for Colorado. Welch again with room between the tackles and a pickup of 6. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, Brent Key told me he told his team at the half, I am proud of you. You were able to put those turnovers behind you and play our brand of football. He even had a smile on his face, much different than what we saw after the first quarter. He said, we will continue our brand of football, which we know they love to run the football. 182 yards in the first half. I would expect that to continue. Also, Malik Rutherford is questionable for the second half.
Yeah, he's not played, Taylor, since that first series, and he's their best receiver. 3 straight run plays off the left side this time, and coming up short of the first down is Welch, tackled by Matthew Alexander. So 3rd down and a couple.
A 3rd medium here. I think give Caden Salter the opportunity to call his own number. A little read zone. He's able to read the defense, potentially get out to the perimeter. Bring in a bigger running back here and Simeon Price. And keep this on the ground, though.
Salter on the rollout, looking towards the sideline, and throws incomplete in traffic. Pressure from Kyle Eifert. First time we've called his name, but he's a very good linebacker for Georgia Tech. We'll see if Colorado keeps the offense on the field for 4th down. They will.
And Eifert gives a big shot here at the end of this play. The leader of this defense comes barreling down. And I like this decision to start the second half. I didn't like the decision of that 3rd down call. This offensive line of Colorado, when they get the opportunity, when they've given the opportunity on runs, they're getting movement up front. They've added size. They've added a lot of new pieces. Trust that offensive line.
Maybe just trying to draw. Yep. Take it down. Not sure I agree with that decision this early in the 3rd. Just take the delay of game at that point. If you're going to do it, they will. Don't burn a timeout. And now you've got Buck Buchanan. He's got a pretty strong leg. He's made a 57-yarder. And had they not taken the penalty, it would have been quite a long field goal. But still, you got a guy that's made it close to 60 before.
You would have needed that and some. I think it would have been about 62 from the 45.
He made a 53-yarder with ease in pregame warmups, but took the penalty, and now we'll send on Grieve to try to pin Georgia Tech deep. Grieve has done it, but the ball at the 2-yard line on a punt in the first quarter. This one a little bit shorter, and the fair catch made by Rivers at the 13. All right, time now for our Aflac trivia questions. So Deion Sanders, when he played at Florida State, 14 career interceptions. That's tied for third most in school history. Who is he tied with? I'll give you a hint. He will be on television this weekend.
For the last time.
Well, don't give it away. That feels like you just tell people who it is.
I mean, I didn't say the name.
Well, we've been promoting it for the last month. I think the plan was to wait a few plays to answer, but I think we'll just do it after this next play. And on first down, wrapped up in the backfield is Haynes, but there's a pre-snap penalty on
False start.
Georgia Tech.
Number 4, offense, 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Let's go ahead and answer it. The Aflac trivia question. Deion Sanders is tied with this man for third most all-time at Florida State in interceptions. He's on TV tomorrow for the last time on College Game Day. Lead Corso.
The best, the absolute best, and we continue to honor him and make it all about him. Look how youthful, young.
Look at that flow from 78.
I believe when he set that, he was the all-time leader. Deion tied it in a year less, but now they currently both sit at number 3. What a special day it'll be tomorrow in Columbus.
King will keep it up to about the 20-yard line. And, of course, Deion Sanders with strong ties to where Georgia Tech is from, Atlanta. Sanders played for both the Braves and the Falcons at the same time. In fact, back in 1992, he played in a game for the Falcons in Miami, then flew on a plane to one of the games of the playoff series. He didn't play that night. He was actually in the dugout for the Braves in their series against the Pirates.
Remarkable. One of the absolute best athletes we've ever seen in team sports in this country. What he was able to do back in the day, absolutely off the charts.
On 2nd and 4, Haynes picks a hole, comes up short of the first down by about a yard. Arden Walker on the tackle. Well, he played corner for the Falcons from 89 to 93, was the 5th overall pick in 89, 3 Pro Bowls, 2-time first team All-Pro, and then was a Brave from 91 to 94 as their center fielder. He signed as a free agent in 91. He hit 22 homers over the course of his career. One of the all-time great athletes in American sports history. 3rd down and 1, a high snap again. They turned it over on a play like that in the first quarter. This time King does well to catch it and then get the first down before he's level.
Boy, it was very similar to the second drive of the game. Goes up high, reaches with the right hand. He's able to bring it in. And they're replacing center from last year. They've had 2 different guys in. Harrison Moore there with that high snap that Haynes King was able to corral, gain composure, and move the sticks.
Haynes picks up a couple, spun down by Byard. Another shot on that last play on Haynes King by Reggie Hughes. But the Georgia Tech coaches told us that Haynes King is as tough as any player they've been around. In fact, Brent Key told us, I think by the time Haynes King is done playing, we're going to be best friends. That's how close they are. And Haynes King slept in the locker room during training camp. He had a blow-up mattress. It was a queen, not a king.
It was nice.
But King did sleep in the locker room.
He had the foam top. That made it nice and comfy for him.
From the pocket, and he throws it away. Surrounded by defenders, so it brings up 3rd down and 9. There's the setup for Haynes King during training camp. He told us his bed is unmade there, but he did make it every morning.
That's what he said. Only 5 days all the camp. He didn't stay there in the facility. Wanted to be laser focused for the start of this much anticipated season. He'll need to be laser focused here on this 3rd down. This Colorado pass rush has been really good throughout the course of this ballgame.
King's been hit about 10 times, sacked twice. He'll air it out here on 3rd down and long, and firing deep, and it's incomplete. Intended for Taylor. The pass was high. There were defenders in the area, and it's 4th down.
Really well played here by Carter Stoutmeyer, the safety. He's going to work over the top, reading the eyes of Haynes King. Gets there in the viewpoint of the intended target, Zion Taylor. That pass a little bit high.
We got a full full slate, which we'll tell you about here momentarily, of outstanding action on ESPN and ABC all the way through Monday night. Bill Belichick's debut, Carolina TCU. First punt of the game for Georgia Tech. They had 3 turnovers in the first 8 minutes of the game, yet they lead by 3. From the 25-yard line is Taylor, and a good return of about 10 yards, and he was hit out of bounds, and there is a flag down.
Personal foul, face mask, number 21, kicking team. 15-yard penalty will be added to the end of the kick, at the end of the run. First down.
Dalen Gordon grabbing the face mask and twisting it, clearly a penalty. So here is the menu for you this weekend, starting on ABC at noon tomorrow, Tennessee, Syracuse, and ending Monday night, TCU, UNC. Great games in between, including Bama, Florida State.
3:30 ABC. What's not to love? I love that Alabama offensive line. They've got some absolute dudes up front, and I think that's going to be the difference. Their offensive line against Florida State's defensive line. Ty Simpson making his first start. What's that look like? And then Thomas Castellanos, he was talking, a little chirping this offseason. It's going to be a good one, and everybody wondering, will Mike Norvell and Florida State bounce back? And Alabama, year 2, Kalen DeBoer, they got to get to the playoff, right, Dave?
You would think there's some pressure there. Externally, certainly. It's starting to rain again here. Did not rain once the game started, but about an hour before kickoff it was pouring. Salter has Taylor wide open inside the 35, and Taylor down to the 30, dragging defenders all the way down to the 29. Gain of 21, and Colorado with 1 play is in business.
Well, they told us about Taylor. He's going to motion out. He's just going to sit right here, and he's going to find space. Good easy throw from Caden Salter, and you see that grass out in front. Excellent burst from Kalen Taylor, the pickup after the catch.
They say he is a home run threat. You saw him break some tackles there. They go back now to Welch, bouncing it to the perimeter, breaking a tackle at the 25, and scoots out around the 20. Gain of 8. Missed tackle by Gilmore on Welch.
It's good blocking as well. 72. Zylan Chrysler gets out in front. Michael Welch, we've seen him run with power, stiff arm to the turf. But he's running strong here tonight. He's averaging almost 9 a carry. Michael Welch looks good here in the opener. Keep feeding that man the football.
62 yards. He had 4 touchdowns last year as a true freshman. 2nd and 2 from the Georgia Tech 20-yard line. Welch again. He gets hammered at the line of scrimmage, but bounces off the hit from E.J. Lightsey and picks up a first down.
Good on his feet right there. Not much there initially. Will jump cut back. It's vertical north and south. Center of gravity so low. He's listed at 5'9". I'm going to take the under on that. Very compact, almost like a bowling ball.
Yeah, he packs a punch for sure.
He does.
Just a 3-star prospect out of high school in Georgia. Not really recruited by Tech. Salter on the roll-off, jukes the defender, and takes off inside the 15 and gets drilled at the 10-yard line out of bounds. And a flag comes in. Amari Harvey with the late hit at the 10-yard line. It's also an official who has his hat off, and usually when the hat's off, that means somebody went out of bounds.
After the play is over, personal foul, late hit out of bounds, number 44. Defense, that penalty will be enforced after this is to the goal. First down.
What a play by Caden Salter. Manley's going to be right here. He's going to work out, and he's going to be squared up with Caden Salter. And watch the ability to make the man miss. He frees him. Little head fake in. Loose surface. Manley goes to the ground. Caden Salter hits the sidelines.
You called it on Eifert, but it was Harvey that actually was later than Eifert on the hit out of bounds.
Got to be smarter than that if you're Harvey there near the sidelines.
So first and goal from the 5, and Welch wrapped up in the backfield. Salter electing it to hand it rather than keep it, and he's dropped by Kilo Stone, who played at Georgia Tech to start his career, transferred to Ole Miss, and now is back with the Yellow Jackets.
Nice job getting penetration, getting vertical, and getting the negative play on first down.
Loss of 4 on the play. Caden Salter making his Colorado debut after starting 3 years at Liberty, led them to the Fiesta Bowl in an undefeated season 2 years ago. Last year wasn't nearly as good, but the Buffaloes believe he's the guy to replace Shedeur Sanders. They'll run it downhill with Welch. Got back to the original line of scrimmage. Tackled by Eifert, third down.
They were in big personnel, 2 big tight ends in there. Pat Shermer going with a very run-heavy look. Going to change personnel now on this third down situation. Checking a couple of wide receivers. And I would be surprised if we don't see either Welch or Taylor back in the game. And Michael Welch checks in there in the backfield.
They're just 2 for 7 on third down. Third and goal on the Georgia Tech 5. Midway through the third quarter, down 3. Salter to the air, in trouble, and he gets smacked at the 10-yard line. It's Jordan Vandenberg with the sack, and Colorado will have to settle for a field goal try.
Been waiting all night to call this young man's name. He is absolute beast inside. Watch him work up and then work inside and get this interior pressure. Hugged up in the A-gap initially. The linebackers, just good job working on that guard by Vandenberg, and a key sack on third down to force the field goal.
Alejandro Mata made a 42-yarder in the first half, and this will be a 29-yard try to tie the game. And the kick is good, and we are tied with 6 minutes to go. And in 2023, got off to a great start, 3-0. But then they lost 8 of their final 9 games. They won 9 games last year, tied for first, but lost on tiebreakers, did not play in the Big 12 title game. The last time they had consecutive winning seasons, 2004, 2005. It's a Hall of Fame staff led by Dion. You got Warren Sapp. Marshall Faulk is now in his first year as the running backs coach.
He really has done an outstanding job. And I think the big question was, now what? We saw what you're able to do with Shedeur, with Travis Hunter. What's it going to look like now? It's 13-13, 6 to go in the third quarter, and I like what I'm seeing, some aspects of this team that we did not see in those previous 2 years.
Going to be another touchback. There are several other former NFL players on the staff. Domata Pecco, who was a long-time defensive
15
lineman.
years in the NFL, 8-time captain. They bring him in to be that defensive line coach with Warren Sapp. It is just littered. Pat Shermer, former NFL head coach, your offensive coordinator. I mean, it's just, they have NFL people. Von Bell was up here working with the defensive coordinator yesterday, Robert Livingston. It's just...
And another Hall of Famer here. And while Randy Moss is not part of the Colorado staff, we're certainly glad he's part of our team after his cancer battle. Bile duct cancer, but back on the air with ESPN. Dion said he was a big help to him when Sanders was going through bladder cancer, and both guys are now cancer-free. Pass over the middle, caught. It's Luke Harpring and his dad, Matt, former NBA standout, more than 10 years in the league, gain of 13.
Well, you're running as much as you do, and watch what happens. It opens this up because the linebackers are flowing heavy. Nobody there to account for the tight end over the middle. Good play action and a good find from Haynes King.
Harpring 3 catches all of last year. That's his first of 2025. And King going to keep it here. Up to the 40 and spun forward to the 43-yard line. So that's the 12th carry for Haynes King. Last year, just shy of 600 rushing yards. And he's hobbling again. He's slow moving. And hit a lot so far in this game.
He's really slow moving right here, Dave. We've seen this several times throughout the course of the evening. London Merritt, the true freshman, takes him down. Oh, I think it
got hit.
Might have gotten hit a little bit below
the belt, for sure. Haynes trying to get the edge, and great tackle in the open field. What a debut for Martavius French for Colorado, a transfer from UTSA. He's got 2 fumble recoveries and that takedown there.
Love the way he worked his way down the line of scrimmage, continued to stay in perfect position, and a nice tackle for the loss.
King on 3rd down and 6. Colorado bringing pressure. King's pass is caught and close to the line to gain. Is heartbreaking because he fell on Johnson. He wasn't down, he fell on the opponent and therefore was still alive and got really close to the 1st down at the 48-yard line.
I expect they're going to go for this if it is short.
It is a 1st down. They just signaled.
Moving it. It's a nice job by Hartbrink. 2nd play on this series, and you're exactly right, Mr. Pash, as he falls on top of Johnson. I don't see, did that left knee go down initially? Didn't look like it.
They're going. Georgia Tech will go for it.
Expecting them to go for this all along. We'll time sync this for you. You can see where the left knee's down, where the ball is at. Good job by our camera crew putting this together. Good job by the replay booth. I agree with this play call. I'm keeping the ball in Haynes King's hands.
ESPN analytics say to go for it as well. Empty set for King. Gets under center and quarterback sneak. He gets the 1st down up to midfield.
I love that smart motion. Jamal Haynes out. Go up like you're going to change the play call and then get right behind your All-American right guard, Keelan Rutledge. He's going to get that movement. Haynes King ain't no fool. He's going to get behind one of the best guards in college football and move the sticks.
Rutledge, a preseason All-America, 2nd year at Georgia Tech, transferred from Middle Tennessee. Fresh set of downs, just shy of midfield. Haynes trying to get the corner, and he does with great hesitation. Then he turns on the burner and picks up 8 yards. Let's go to Zubin in the studio.
Dave, check this out. In an absolute shocker, Brad Larson of FCS Tarleton State to defeat Army in overtime. Seconds ago, Wake Forest just got past Kennesaw State. What a Friday night.
And wow, after Army had that incredible year last season.
The American Conference champion, their 1st year in the league, and now they lose to Tarleton State.
Had a big upset last night with Boise, ranked 25th, and blown out by South Florida. Big hit in the backfield. Haynes runs right into the waiting arms of Amari McNeil.
This is great penetration. Watch him come from the side. Just going to get vertical, going to get inside, swim move. They're going to pull that guard. He's going to swim over the back block. Good anticipation there by Amari McNeil, getting the negative play.
Loss of 2. It is 3rd down and 4 at the Colorado 45.
Tight end in the backfield.
King will keep it running behind that tight end. And it's a 1st down for Tech, down to the 38-yard line. That was J.T. Byrne paving the way for a 7-yard run.
Again, they just do so much stuff. They're going to pull guard, and then they're going to get a tight end fullback, lead up on another way to run quarterback counter, and it's blocked to perfection. The hesitation and then north and south running from Haynes King.
83 rushing yards for King on 14 carries and a touchdown. King will hand it off this time to Hosley, and Hosley gets inside the 30. I'm actually going to say get down to the 29, so pick up a 9 there for Malachi Hosley.
I really enjoyed talking with the offensive coordinator at Georgia Tech, Buster Faulkner, and just talking with him about this offense and how it's involved. His background is in the air raid. This looks nothing like the air raid. And he's built this offense, and they've continued to evolve it and to build it. So many different variations, so many different looks, so tough for defenses to defend.
Hosley, 1st down run. And he keeps going, carrying Colorado defenders inside the 20. Gain of 11 as they are leaning on that defensive line here the last couple plays.
That's what you start to think about. Colorado's done a nice job rotating bodies throughout. But you think about the body blows all throughout the course of this game. The amount of runs that this defense has had to defend. definitely feels like it's starting to take its toll here on this drive.
40 run plays, Dusty, out of 58 total plays for 240 yards for Georgia Tech. King will keep it, cuts it back inside the 10, and King into the end zone. Georgia Tech retakes the lead with a King touchdown. Second rushing touchdown tonight for King. Most rushing touchdowns by a quarterback the last 2 seasons, with 21 coming into today, and he adds on to it. Great drive that time by King and company. We talked about the relationship between Brent Keen, the head coach, and King, the quarterback, and you see it there on display, arm in arm on the sideline after the go-ahead score. And the point after to make it a 7-point game.
And this is what I'm talking about, how hard it is to defend this offense. We've been talking about the counter. You're going to get counter flow here, okay? They're going to fake this run here, okay? And then they're going to come back, and you're going to see the block by the tight end and the hole open up for Haynes King. So it's counter action one way. You get the flow of the defense, but you come back with the quarterback keep of Haynes King. He follows his tight end, and he finds the end zone for the second time tonight.
And he's over 100 rushing yards. You think about, Dusty, what this guy has gone through. People thought at A&M he was going to be the next great quarterback there. It didn't work out his second year and his second start, 2021. Here in Denver, he broke his leg, was out for the rest of the season, ends up transferring to Georgia Tech, and took a while. He struggled his first year through 16 picks, cut it down to 2 last year. He's had some turnovers today, but a veteran's been in these situations before, able to overcome those mistakes.
Poised, cool, calm, collected. He had a turnover issue back in 23. He corrected it last season. We talked a lot about the turnovers early, but clearly been able to overcome them and take this lead here in the third.
This will be another touchback. Now let's take a look at today's game track, brought to you by American Express. So Colorado had the early lead because of 3 Georgia Tech turnovers in the first 8 minutes of the game. Haynes King hasn't had a great day throwing the ball, has an interception, but the 2 rushing touchdowns. Caden Salter replacing Shedeur Sanders in his first start with the Buffaloes, just 69 passing yards. The touchdown came in the short field situation after that initial Colorado or Georgia Tech turnover to start the game.
Now what does Colorado do to come back? They had a lot of success running the football here on these opening 2 drives in this third quarter. Pass formation on first.
And Salter gets rid of it in time and fires complete to Draylon Miller. And he's all the way to the 41. Good start to the drive. Gain of 16 on the final play of the third quarter.
Georgia Tech able to regain the lead with a rushing touchdown. How do you slow down their rushing attack?
You just got to go get them. They're running the heck out of the ball. The quarterback is making some great decisions. We got to be physical and go get them, but also we got to score. We got to score. We got to score and stop making mistakes to neutralize ourselves.
What do you tell Salter in order to score?
Yeah, be you. Be that dude. Everybody want to be him. It's time to be him.
Thank you. Dave?
And Taylor, Salter did make a good play on the last play of the third quarter, a 16-yard strike to Draylon Miller. They start the fourth with a run, and it goes for 2 yards.
It's time to be him, he says. Mr. Pat, you know that terminology?
I do, yes. I am hip to that. Not much else.
You're not supposed to say you're hip. That kind of is a dead giveaway you're not, you know. We'll see. Big fourth quarter coming for Caden Salter, making his first start in a Colorado Buffalo uniform.
Again, we haven't seen the 17-year-old Juju Lewis. We thought we would early on. Salter throws a swing pass. Great block out front. And it's a first down for Hakeem Williams into Georgia Tech territory.
Well, Sincere Brown makes this play happen. Watch him come up and get an excellent block to help spring Hakeem Williams. Really good job outside. Keep those hands inside in the framework. Doesn't get outside. And Hakeem Williams with some burst after the catch for a nice pickup.
Gain of 11 now at the 48-yard line of Georgia Tech. Salter, this is going to be a second pass, but in trouble is Joseph Williams, and his pass is incomplete. Just try to get rid of it with defenders closing in. So they're going for the trick play. Both players downfield were covered.
They're going to try to hit this down the field. And to your point, Dave, it is not there. Try to go with the double pass, and it's covered extremely well. Actually, receiver came from a different spot. My apologies on that draw.
Find it interesting.
But it's well defended. I was surprised that we saw a double pass in that after you just had success trying to hit a big play down the field.
It's also the first touch of the day for Joseph Williams, who we thought was going to be featured a lot today, and they put it in his hands in that situation. Here's Quentin Gibson out in space, and down at the 40. Gain of 8, brings up third down and a couple.
Third and short. I like Michael Welch in the backfield. Struggled with great power, been tough to tackle. This is 4-down territory. If you're sitting here looking at this and you're Pat Shermer, I'm sure he's already checked with Coach Sanders. Get 2 downs to work with to get these 3 yards.
From the 41-yard line of Georgia Tech, 3rd down and 3. Salter to the air, and he fires to the sideline, complete to Taylor for a 1st down. Salter was backpedaling, found the open man. There's an injured Georgia Tech player in midfield, though.
Well, Taylor has been such a good target out of the backfield. Watch him motion out here at the snap. The coverage isn't able to get there. A crisp route, puts his foot in the ground, and good timing. There is Caden Salter retreating from the pressure, but gets enough on the pass to find his target.
And Jordan Vandenberg, who was in the face of Salter, he was shaken up on the play. Now, he went down to the ground before the ball was spotted. Had he been injured or presented himself as injured, after the ball had been spotted, it would have cost Georgia Tech a timeout. That's a new rule this year in college football, instituted to keep players from faking injuries. So it'll be 1st down at the 32 of Georgia Tech. Best drive in a while for Colorado, but can they finish it?
Best drive we've seen with Caden Salter and the passing game coming to life. They've had a nice drive here in the 2nd half that resulted in that last field goal, but that was much more on the ground. This one, we're seeing Caden Salter make some throws to move this team down the field.
And a quick pass down the sideline to the tight end, Zach Atkins. That was a beautiful play call by Pat Shermer. And close to a 1st down. Say he stepped out on a 1.5-yard shot.
Just got to push that pass forward. Zach Atkins came across the formation, unaccounted for, wide open grass out in front. Caden Salters wanted to get that ball in his hands as quick as he could.
Salter will hand it off this time, and Akilo Stone wraps up the ball carrier Welch short of the line to gain. Bring it up 3rd down and 1. You in 4-down territory at this stage here for Colorado? A lot of time left.
I think you are. I do. I think you go. I think you need to score a touchdown right here.
Although they go with Salter and the quarterback sneak, trying to get to the line quickly and snap the ball, and hoping that gets him the 1st down. It's going to be close.
Well, he did not get much push from his offensive line there. Nice job by 14, Jai Gilmore coming off the edge.
He's short, 4th down. They're keeping the offense out there.
I think you got to look to go for it here. We talked about rebuilding this offensive line, the physicality it has.
Do you run the same thing? Do you just put the quarterback under center and let Salter do the work?
Yes.
And you give it to your big back Welch?
No, I go right back to it.
They will, and Salter got hit right at the line of scrimmage. He powers forward with a 2nd effort, and it's going to be really close. I think he got it.
I think he got it. Second effort.
Yeah, Jai Gilmore was in there with the initial hit, but Salter bounced off of it somehow.
Jai Gilmore is going to come off this edge here. But you're going to see Caden Salter keep those legs turning, and he backs up, and he gets enough with the 2nd effort.
So a fresh set of downs on the Georgia Tech 22. Colorado down 7, nearing 10 minutes to go. Salter backing up, lobs it. It's underthrown and nearly intercepted. There's a penalty flag down. To Kalen Taylor, the intended receiver. Omar Daniels defending. It was almost picked off by a linebacker, Cayman Spalding, but again, a flag down.
Well, this is a
There
mistake.
is no foul for defensive pass interference. The ball was tipped by the defense. It'll be second down.
Must have been tipped at the line, and that's why it was so short.
It looked really off kilter when that ball came out. It was wobbly, it was short, it was underthrown. Take another look here.
Yeah,
that
right
ball
there.
tipped right there. It's Brayton Manley hits him right on the hand as he delivers the pass. Good job by the officials working together and getting that right.
They're going to look at it. Did Manley hit his arm or did he hit the ball? That's apparently what is upheld. Let's bring in our rules expert, Matt Austin, to explain this. Matt?
Yeah, I think it's a good way to uphold the call because first it's really close. Did he get the ball while it was still in his hand? Did he get his hand? I think it's really too close to tell, so I don't think they could have had anything really overturn it with. But that's an extremely close play.
And again, they've changed the language now. They don't say anything other than it's upheld. It's not about being confirmed or standing. And on the edge, the tight end Atkins is open, and he's close to a first down. Right at the line, he's pushed out at the 12. See where they spot it, whether it's 3rd and 1 or 1st and 10.
Well, no flat player there for this Georgia Tech defense. Zach Atkins left all alone, and a good find from Caden Salter.
Salter, this is arguably his best series right now. Again, a lot of experience. That's what Coach Prime told us yesterday separated him from the youngster Juju Lewis and why he went with Salter as his starting quarterback. 3-year starter at Liberty. Salter back to throw, facing pressure, steps up and lobs it. Oh, he had a receiver wide open, Simeon Price, but he could not connect with him at the 5-yard line.
Georgia Tech rolled the dice. They brought a corner blitz, and it was picked up beautifully. Protection is there. Everything was perfect. Price sneaks out of the backfield, and just a misfire from Caden Salter. That's a walk-in touchdown if he puts it on his numbers.
Salter was motioning after the play to Price that he wanted him to get upfield there rather than drifting to the sideline, but it's a bad throw.
Got to find a way to convert when you're able to pick up that blitz and have an open man.
Salter will hand it to Price, and he's down to the 6-yard line. Gain of 6. It'll bring up 3rd down. You got 9 minutes to go. If you're Pat Shurmur, the play caller, you in 4-down territory at this stage?
I think it just depends on what you get on this play. If you don't get anything, you probably settle for the field goal. If it's 2 or less, maybe it's different. I think you're looking to try to pick up this first down if you're Pat Shurmur.
Again, they can get a first down before getting into the end zone. It's 3rd down and 5. Shurmur spent 24 years in the NFL, head coach with the Browns and Giants, in his 2nd season here in Boulder as the play caller. Salter to the air, with time, spinning the ball in his hand, now stepping up, gets away from pressure, and scores! Touchdown! No, they're going to mark him down at the 1. Another official came in, emphatically said he is down at the 1. The Buffaloes are celebrating, but it's going to be 1st and goal. The kicking team's on the field, but they got to take them off to get the offense back out there.
Did he get that ball across? Where's the knee? Where's the shin? Nothing's down yet. I think that's a touchdown.
Well, again, the entire Colorado sideline thought it was. The kicking team was out there.
I'm shocked they're not going to look at this.
Yeah, they're going to have to.
They're going to have to. I think he's in. The shin
Previous
is up.
play of the runner short of the goal line is under further review.
Shins up, knees up, ball across the goal line. That looks like a touchdown for Caden Salter in Colorado.
Well, one official was very emphatic saying he was down, but looking at that video replay does not appear to be. It does appear that there's clear and obvious video evidence to say that the call on the field's wrong and that that's a touchdown.
Where is that ankle shin? We're going to watch the right ankle and shin as he comes. It's up. up, it's up. That ball looks over. I mean, once it hits, that ball looks like it's over the goal line to me, Dave.
Just got to get the nose of the ball over the front of the plane before you're down. And that left ankle's up.
Right there.
It's still up there. The right hip. Hard to tell if it's down or not there, but at that point the ball's across.
Yeah.
And again, Colorado's celebrating. The kicking team's on the field for the extra point, and there's one lone official there pointing to the ground saying he's down.
What a job by Caden Salter. 3rd down, 5, zone coverage, there's space there. He identifies it. Pass rush lanes open up. You see that burst and acceleration he has, and it's a race to the goal line. And a race that I sure feel confident Caden Salter won. Regardless, it's a 1st down. Even if he doesn't score, it's 1st and goal inside the 1.
After
But I think it's a
review,
touchdown.
the runner breaks the goal line. Touchdown.
A touchdown pass, and now a touchdown run for Caden Salter. Colorado's first touchdown since 3 minutes into the game.
Coach Sanders said to Taylor, go be him. And that's exactly what he was on that drive, making plays with his arm, making plays with his legs, and giving Alejandro Mata the chance to tie this game up at 20 apiece.
7-minute drive by Colorado, capped by the Salter scamper with 8:04 to go. And Mata has it blocked, but it got over the crossbar, and it's good. That got...
Rarely do you see a blocked extra point find its way through the uprights, but it does, and we're all tied.
Be another touchback, and let's check in with the studio. Here's Zubin.
Dave, Dusty, there have been some big plays in this Auburn-Baylor game, but none bigger than this. Rayshawn Pleasant is going to take this 98 yards back to the house. This is the 3rd kick return for a touchdown in his career. Hugh Freeze looks like he might get off to a great start in what's setting up to be a critical year on the Plains.
And this, Zubin, setting up to be a great finish here in Boulder. Haynes King on a little roll-up, dumps it off to Haynes, a ton of room. Haynes past midfield and out of bounds at about the 47-yard line. Somehow he got lost.
Well, here he is right here. It's going to be a fake, and it's in man coverage on the outside. There is nobody there to account for Jamal Haynes out of the backfield, and we know about his speed. Grass out in front, and what a great play to start this opening drive.
That's a 27-yard gain.
You're so worried defensively about the run, it opens up plays like that in the throw game.
Here's Haynes again. This time running it. He's bottled up. And Quinn Barnes on the stop. Gain of 1. Jamal Haynes, 2,000 rushing yards the last 2 years. Was a former wide receiver. And clearly has home run speed. You saw it on that run on 1st down.
I love the story Buster Faulkner said. He told us Jamal Haynes is from where he's from, and he was a youth football legend as running back. And they said, hey, you want to move back over? He has, and it's paid dividends for both Jamal Haynes and this Georgia Tech offense.
King, short pass, but a stoppage. A timeout called by Georgia Tech.
Prior to the snap, Georgia Tech calls first charge. Timeout.
Those are the games next up. Starting in Atlanta with Tennessee-Syracuse on ABC. 2nd and 9 for Georgia Tech in Colorado territory. Haynes King back to throw over the middle. It is caught. And an ankle tackle broken. And finally, Isaiah Canyon goes down after a short gain. 3 turnovers early on by Georgia Tech, but Colorado scored just 7 points off of those turnovers. Haynes King gave Georgia Tech a 7-point lead, but Caden Salter just scored on the last possession to tie it up.
And a crucial 3rd down here with Georgia Tech on the move. We haven't said the name Eric Rivers in a while. The FIU transfer they brought in to be their go-to guy. Can they find him here in a big spot?
And Malik Rutherford, their leading receiver, he has not played since the first quarter. A ton of movement that time. Flags fly. Haynes King came away from the center that time.
Center moved it. Center moved the ball abruptly. Georgia Tech's trying to say they were drawn off. Something was said.
Illegal snap, number 58. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
Paulo Tupuola cost Georgia Tech 5 yards.
And Haynes King started walking up to him. He got a little bit antsy, and he just moved the football.
Yep. So third down and 13.
Trying to find Eric Rivers. I mentioned bottom of your screen. He's in the middle.
And movement again. That time everybody moved but the center.
Wow. Wow.
8th penalty on Tech. Back-to-back 5-yard penalty.
Number 72. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And man, it's loud in here. That's having an impact.
You got to give this crowd so much credit, because right now they can't hear anything. The center's flustered. He doesn't know what's going on, doesn't know what to do. Give yourself a hand, crowd here at Folsom Stadium, causing some crucial and costly false start penalties here late.
Third down and 18. King facing a 4-man rush. Airs it out and incomplete. And boy, was he open. Brett Seither, the tight end, would have had a first down, but could not come up with the catch.
Well, he is wide open. Seither is going to come from right here. No one's going to account for him. And this is a misfire from Haynes King. Got him open as he works to the outside, runs a good route, puts that on his numbers. They convert on a big third down. Instead, punt team up. Caden Salter going to get the ball back in his hands.
Marshall Nichols will boot it away, and he just got rid of it at the last second. And the fair catch made at the 10-yard line with 5:20 to go. Colorado ball and a tie game. Take a look at this week's college football rankings brought to you by Verbo. Huge one in Columbus. College game day will be there for Lee Corso's final show. Texas, Ohio State. Notre Dame, Miami, Sunday night ABC as well.
At Texas, Ohio State, the debut of Arch Manning, first road start. He started 2 games last season, but now he's the guy. I think the Texas defense, the best unit in that game. And Julian Sand will make his first start. I lean Texas in that game as much as anything because I trust that Texas defense more than any other unit that'll take the field tomorrow in Columbus.
So it seems like you agree with the rankings. There are a lot of people that feel Texas should not have been ranked #1.
Well, that's a different story. I'd have Clemson #1 in my rankings, but as far as that game goes,
okay,
I think Texas is going to win a close knockdown dragout.
Caden Salter coming off his best drive of the night. Takes over on his 11-yard line. And he'll throw on first down. Dump off to Welch. And he's past the 15. And up to the 19. Let's check in with Taylor.
Dave, Georgia Tech defensive lineman taking an oxygen from a tank on the sideline moments ago. We are over a mile above sea level here in Boulder. When you're at altitude, every visiting team feels it. So with a tie game in the 4th quarter, something to pay attention to.
That's a great report, Taylor. We knew. Look, they came in a day early, Georgia Tech did. When they got to the hotel, they walked up all the flights of stairs, couldn't take the elevator. Hydration, oxygen on the sideline, huge keys to keep the guys fresh here tonight. But I've played in altitude. It's different up here a mile high.
Salter fires complete. Joseph Williams. Good stop in the open field by Powell Lee, but it's a first down. Back-to-back pass plays. It feels like Pat Shurmur's confidence in Salter is growing with what they're letting him do.
They're in a rhythm. They're in a rhythm, giving him some good, easy throws. We've seen some perimeter throws, and with Caden Salter right now, the confidence, as you just referenced, Dave, it's oozing out of him with every throw.
Nearing 4 minutes to go here in a tie game. 2 timeouts left for Colorado, plus the 2-minute official timeout. Play action, Salter in trouble, escapes, on the move, rolling left, flips it downfield, behind the receiver, incomplete. Intended for Joseph Williams.
No contain outside. Caden Salter gets outside the pocket, tries to square those shoulders, just misses Joseph Williams. That pass slightly behind him. They like the Tulsa transfer Williams a lot. Been great going back to spring into fall camp, making contested catches. Couldn't contort the body and bring that in.
Well, he didn't touch the ball until the fourth quarter. His first touch was on a double pass where he was throwing the ball. Salter will keep it, and Georgia Tech read that well. Out of bounds at the 33-yard line, a gain of about 4. Third down and long.
And as we saw on that last third down touchdown from Colorado, you got to be mindful if you're Georgia Tech. Pass rush lanes, you got to cover. But pass rush lanes, because as we've seen, Caden Salter can call his own number, and he can pick up the yards needed. Well, they love DeKalen Taylor catching the ball in the backfield. He checks in. He has been a go-to guy as a target for Salter out of the backfield. See if they try to create a matchup for him.
They've thrown it to him 5 times. He's caught it 3 times. Play clock down to 3. Salter takes the snap. Has good protection. Fakes. Now runs. And then throws high. Going for Taylor. It's incomplete. 4th down. 3:06 to go. And Colorado will punt it away.
Boy, it's good defense right here by Georgia Tech. Do a nice job initially. They sneak Taylor out of the backfield. That's covered. That's his first read. That's where he goes first. Now he's working through his progressions. Can't find anybody. Eifert does a nice job coming forward to force the hand and unable to find Taylor down the field. And Georgia Tech gets off the field.
Damon Greaves on to punt. Georgia Tech puts 2 men back, Stockton and Rivers. Fielded at the 19-yard line. And Rivers with room past the 35, wrapped up and stopped at the 39 with 2:52 to go. Take a look at our dynamic play of the game, presented by T. Rowe Price.
Well, it was turnovers early. A missed exchange from Haynes King and Jamal Haynes, and a high snap over the head. Third possession, penetration, pressure on Haynes King at his legs. Forces a pass he didn't need to, and it's DJ McKinney with the big interception. But then as things came along, they found their way. They started to run the football with a lot of effectiveness. Haynes King with this second half touchdown run, only to be matched the next drive by Caden Salter as he sees some green grass and he finds the end zone. Back-to-back punts after that, and we're here with under 3 to play, and Tech has the ball.
Haynes King will keep it, running to the left, turns it upfield and out of bounds at the 44-yard line. That's 5 yards, which will put King over 100 yards rushing on the day. Hobbling a little bit. We've seen that throughout tonight.
And they anticipated this. Buster Faulkner said tomorrow night, we talked to him yesterday, might be a 20-carry game for Haynes King. That is 16th carry in this ball game, as now the All-American offensive guard, Keelan Rutledge, down on the field.
And you, Dusty and Taylor, both talked about hydration. Not going to speculate, but we have seen several players cramping throughout the game tonight. Rutledge is a tough dude. This is a guy that a couple years ago was in a car accident and almost lost a toe. Meanwhile, the injury happened after the ball was spotted, so that cost Georgia Tech a timeout. That is a new rule this year, whether you're on offense or defense, to keep players from feigning injuries. Clearly, he's not in this situation, but it doesn't matter. It's not subjective. If you present yourself injured after the ball is spotted, it costs you 5 yards, or it costs you a timeout if you have one, and Georgia Tech did, and now they're down to just 1. It'll be 5 yards if you don't have a timeout.
And we all know why this rule was put in, right? This rule was put in, feigning of injuries, up-tempo offenses, defenses, after a big play, looking over, being told to get down, and that's why this rule was put in place. It's unfortunate because we had a game last week in Dublin, and it appeared that a player was really hurt, and the flag got thrown, and clearly here, Keelan Rutledge is dealing with some serious something. Don't want to speculate. Looks like cramps, but we don't know. and he could not get off the field, and it's going to cost his team potentially a crucial timeout.
Now, again, you do get an official timeout at 2 minutes. That's the second year of that rule, but only one timeout left for the Yellow Jackets.
And you lose your best offensive lineman at a crucial juncture here late in this ball game. A player that Brent Key told us was the toughest player he's ever coached. And he told us, I've coached 31 NFL offensive linemen. No one tougher than Keelan Rutledge, but he has to step out here late in this ball game.
2nd and 5 on the Tech 44. 2:34 to go in a tie game. King, quarterback draw, trying to find a hole, was very patient and got ahead to the 48, but short of the first down. 3rd down and about a yard.
Well, you nailed it with patience, just kind of waited. Wasn't a whole lot there initially, but gets enough to set this 3rd and short situation up. I would just be surprised here once we get back from this 2 minute. If we don't see number 10 have his number called once again. I think they're going to keep the ball in the hands of Haynes King.
Well, we got a really good one in Boulder. Got a spot change, I guess, Dave and Dusty. What's Tech looking at here?
Scott, looks like they moved it back about a yard, so it's 3rd down and 2. King fakes the pitch, keeps it himself, and dives for a first down into Colorado territory.
Well, like we've talked about a lot tonight, now they're going to pull backside guard and the tight end. Going to fake the toss outside, but really it's just quarterback counter once again. Good blocking and good downhill running from Haynes King.
And I think they have to put time back on the clock because the clock inside 2 minutes on first downs is supposed to stop to reset the chains. It was running. It's it. Yeah, and they put 8 seconds back on. There you go to 1:54. 1 timeout left for Georgia Tech. 2 for Colorado. Tie game. Tech in Colorado territory. It'll be Jamal Haynes. And Haynes trying to bounce it to the outside, down to the 45 for 4 yards.
Got to work quickly now. Only 1 timeout left for Georgia Tech. And burn 1 with Rutledge going down. And it does not seem like they're in that big of a hurry.
Their kicker, Aiden Bird, won the Week 0 game against Florida State last year in Ireland on a walk-off field goal. Will he be in a similar situation? Tech has some work to do. King keeping it. First down and more. King breaks free. Past the 20. He'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Georgia Tech. Rushing touchdown for King, who has looked shaken up and exhausted throughout tonight's game. He's got 19 carries for 156 yards, and he gives the Yellow Jackets the lead with 1:07 to go. "45-yard touchdown run. Burr on for the extra point. And it's a 7-point lead on the road for Georgia Tech.
Well, it's what we've talked about from the onset of this game. Watch the blocking up front. And again, it's the same play they ran on 3rd and short. Going to fake the toss, and it's going to be a counter. Down block, down block. They're going to pull backside guard. They're going to pull the tight end. And it's going to work once again to perfection. They get up on those second-level players. Haynes King lowers the shoulder, sees open grass. And he's off to Pater. What a performance from Haynes King in this rushing attack of Georgia Tech. They've continued to pound the rock, pound the rock, pound the rock. His 19th carry of the game. Now 156 yards and 3 touchdowns. We knew he was tough, Dave Pash, but he's showing a whole nother level of toughness tonight. He's been banged up and kind of limping, hobbling along since quarter number 1. And here he is at his best when his team needs it the most late in this ballgame.
Enough time for Colorado with 2 timeouts, 1:07 to go, but they're going to have to go the length of the field. Burr will kick it deep and through the end zone, so no time comes off the clock. It's a touchback. And Caden Salter in his first game as the Colorado quarterback. He's been in these kind of situations before. No disrespect to Liberty, but this is a larger stage. with great expectations coming off a 9-win season, replacing one of the most prolific quarterbacks in school history in Shedeur Sanders, who set over 100 records here with the Buffaloes. Can he lead his team down the field to either tie or win it in the final second?
The last time Haynes King led his offense down and ran one, and Caden Salter matched that with his own rushing touchdown. We'll see if he can do it here again. Minute 7 with 2 timeouts in his pocket.
From empty, Salter with a quick throw out of the backfield. Welch is drilled. Big hit by Jai Gilmore. A loss on the play of 3, and the clock is running.
What a play by Jai Gilmore. Flying up from his safety position. And an excellent tackle for a negative play. Got to go faster.
Taking way too much time off the clock. Sidearm complete. Close to the first down is Hakeem Williams. Short, though, by a yard.
Timeout. Got to call one now.
And Coach Sanders is not. The clock is running. 30 seconds and counting. 3rd and short. Salter looking, steps up, gonna run, and he's going sideways. He had the first down. Now he gets it back, but took a ton of time off the clock. It stops because he went out with 18 seconds to go, but that took way too much time off the clock. That's why you call timeout.
Either after the first play or the second play, they averred. They started this drive with a minute 7. They're down to 18 seconds, and a run, just a couple of plays, just took too much time there. And now 18 seconds left.
And Dusty Salter probably should have just give himself up, get the first down, stop the clock so he can reset the chains, rather than going backwards and wasting 8 to 10 more seconds. Salter got to get rid of it. Clock running. Salter airing it out deep. There's a receiver down there. Almost caught up to it. Draylon Miller, but it's incomplete with 8 seconds to go.
It feels like a little bit of panic mode there. 18 seconds, trying to push the ball all the way down the field to find Draylon Miller. You got 2 timeouts in your pocket. They haven't even used them. Don't want to finish a game like this in a clock situation with timeouts in your pocket.
And now Georgia Tech sends 5 men deep to the other end of the field. 8 seconds to go. Short throw. Got to get out of bounds. Hodge does, but now it's just the Hail Mary. 3 seconds left. Remember, they won a game on a Hail Mary with Shedeur Sanders.
I believe it was Baylor last year. That's what sent it to overtime. They won the game in overtime, but they hit a Hail Mary in regulation. Can we potentially see it again here tonight? They're going to have 1 crack at this, Dave.
And again, Georgia Tech putting men deep, 3 men down on the goal line. Salter, no time left, has to get rid of it. Moving around in the pocket, now fires deep into the end zone. And it is incomplete, and the game is over. Georgia Tech comes to Boulder, and despite 3 turnovers in 8 minutes, overcomes that and wins.